What's he doing?
He's reading.
Nerd?
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Diablo 4. The large patch notes 1.1.1 have been dropped. Now to be clear, these are just the patch notes. The actual patch does not drop until August 8th, which is this coming Tuesday. Now, I want to start by saying it has been difficult to make D4 content lately. If you say you're happy about something, you get called a shill and a fanboy. And if you say you don't like it, then people say you are never satisfied. Okay, so I'm going to start by saying this. I've read these patch notes twice. All right. And I am not happy with the current state of Season 1. And I think Blizzard isn't happy with the current state of Season 1. That being said, dropping a patch this large only 3 weeks after the season dropped showed that they are at least listening or trying. Okay? That doesn't mean it's okay that it dropped bad, but at least it shows they are trying to mend it. That's where I'm currently at. Pretty simple. Now, I'm not going to read all these patch notes because this video would be unbelievably boring and take forever, but we'll hit the big stuff as I go through it. And I will link this in the description if you want to read them for yourself. Right now, we're on the website Icy Veins. Hello, Wanderer. Welcome to patch 1.1.1. We've made quite a few balance adjustments to classes. Our goal with this patch are as follows. We want to improve the effectiveness of sorcerers and barbarians while addressing the following for each class. Sorcerer, improve late game survivability, mostly through Paragon board improvements. Adjust some class mechanics to move away from the Kiss Curse effects. This is where the player gains power but loses power somewhere else. Barbarian, which is what I am maining. And now I have, I think, 4 guides up on Icy Veins for Season 1. Speed up the flow of combat in early game by increasing Fury generation on basic skills. I don't really care about this that much because I'm already leveled. Add late game excitement by increasing the power of unique items. This I am very excited about, and I got a lot of build ideas. 2, strengthen builds that aren't reaching high power level. 3, diversify the use cases for legendary items and other effects that are overly situational. So basically make it so you can use it in more situations. That makes sense to me. Now, I would love to go through Barbarian and Druid, which are the 2 classes that I play in D4. But obviously, you know, that would be just for me, okay? But I will say a couple of things. For Barbarian, Upheaval is going to get a big boost. And I'm currently in the process of updating my Upheaval build. Mighty Charge is also getting, or Charge in general is getting an update where they fixed a bug. And they are buffing vulnerability and damage and the aspect for charge. So I got a couple ideas for an Ancient's Charge build as well. So that is really exciting. And the rest of this stuff, you know, all of it is good. They're all buffs. Nothing in here is a nerf. And by the way, Hellhammer, which is the unique item for Upheaval, is also getting a monster buff. Oh, I can't wait for this update to drop. So many things need to be tested. Now for Rogue, it gets a little update as well, where most people agree that Rogue is already in a good place. Again, everything's buff. Druid, they're doing the exact same thing as Barbarian, where they are buffing the generators because leveling with Barbarian and Druid feels terrible. And I will say they are making an attempt to make companions better. Now, I have a friend that's working on a companion build, and I've told this person over and over and over and over again in the last 5 years, every action RPG I have played, at least Wolves is the worst skill I've ever used, potentially in the history of action RPGs. Perfectly rolled aspects with max rolled gear, with having a Paragon board for companions, with maxing companions, and getting the companions rolled in your affixes for higher levels. Wolves could not kill a spider that bursts out like the little baby spider after tier horror. They're the wort. They're horrible. So maybe if this like passive damage went 7-8 to 110 or maybe 1,010, it might be better. But they've at least nudged companions. The only one that's a little interesting is Brutal Ravens. Increase the passive damage of Ravens by 40%. 40% is a pretty big number. So I'm going to have to test that. And then Rabies has always been pretty bad. And this is the second buff that Rabies has gotten. And they said that the rabies that is spread by wolves also gets this buff. So maybe Rabies is going to feel a little better. Okay. Now, Source. I've only leveled a Source to like level 20. Not a Source expert. But I can tell you a lot of the stuff in here, and a lot of people are very excited about Chain Lightning. Okay. But obviously, we are scrolling. These are all updates to Source to make it feel a lot better. It is one of the least played classes right now. Necromancer, getting a little bit of a buff as well. All classes are getting a buff, but not a ton. Now, gameplay updates. We're moving on to gameplay updates. We are increasing monster density in Nightmare Dungeons and in Helltides. This is great. We want more monsters. More monsters means more loot. More monsters means more experience, which means faster level, which means action-packed gameplay. But you got to be careful. The more monsters, the more survivability you need as you get up there. But all in all, I don't know if I've ever had anybody complain about having too much monster density. So this is great. Bosses are getting a buff to their health, so you're not going to be able to kill them in 3 seconds anymore. Now it is going to take you 6 seconds. Right? Now, this is one where I feel like more people are upset, okay? And I do understand the reasoning for it. Level 35 and higher boss monsters will now have a 100% chance to drop a legendary item. Treasure Goblins now have increased legendary drop rate chance from level 6 to 14 and a guaranteed legendary drop rate at level 15. Legion events are now more rewarding and guarantee a legendary item drop starting at level 35. So, this one's hard because obviously I want the legendaries. Man, dropping that often, we'll have to wait and see. I guess it'll be fine. It'll probably be fine. But now we're at least getting guaranteed loot. I think most people are like, I want to be rewarded for my efforts. And if just being there gets one, now I'm going to be flooded with them, which means it's not as exciting when I get a drop. I understand that sentiment. We've made multiple improvements to how damage and others interact with barriers. Yes, barriers are going to play a lot better. Increased elixir stack from 20 to 99. An additional stash tab can now be purchased with gold, and we've restored the casting time on dungeons back to 3 seconds. Their current excuse is saying that people were cheating, and when they got in trouble, they would just teleport out. So they made it from 3 seconds to 5 seconds, so they can no longer do that. But everybody complained and said it slows down the game, so they said it does not outweigh it. So they reverted it back to 3 seconds. They updated a couple items and hearts, and now bug fixes. Lots of bug fixes are needed. I'm not going to read any of these, okay? Accessibility, cooperative play, dungeons, gameplay. So this, well, I guess I'll read one. Fixed an issue where charge didn't carry all enemies hit along with the barbarian. This literally killed charge. And the fact that they fixed this now brings it back into the conversation. Okay, Druid, Necromancer, Rogue, Source. General bug fixes, monster bug fixes, quest bug fixes, Season of the Malignant bug fixes, shop and battle pass, UI, miscellaneous. So this is the update. And again, remember, maybe there's nothing huge in here. Maybe you're like, it's all kind of one in the same. That being said, this is less than 3 weeks after we got season 1. And I'm hoping we get a little mid-season refresh. So maybe another 3 or 4 weeks down the line, hey, the Malignant are doing something different, and now maybe we get something new to do. That is at least my hope. A mid-season refresh, which is what they should really do if they're not planning it. I'm sure they're planning something like that. Man, this is a huge patch. So those are the notes. Am I happy with it? I think anybody that is maining Barbarian and Source and still playing D4 are going to be happy with this. That's my overall feeling. Didn't really learn a lot. I mean, most of this stuff they already covered, which is actually pretty cool that they covered it. And then we just now get it in written form. So I'm pretty happy. Let's hope D4 continues to get better. Moreover, continue to listen to your community. That's all I've got. Hopefully you're entertained or at least learn something. Aaron, out.